Welcome back to the Autry Benton Show. We had an interesting conversation with my good friend Delan Stevens yesterday. If you missed it, go back and watch as we pick up our interview today. Delan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Autry. I appreciate you having me, man. I really do.
Man.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Yes, sir. Anyway, so bring me up on meeting Miss Linda.
Yep.
Your wife now.
Yeah. It had been over a year. My wife, had passed away, and me and Linda, she wasn't Stevens at the time, she is now. Me and Linda ran into each other, hadn't seen each other in years, and we went to high school together too. And we just kind of got to talking, and I was telling her I was thinking about buying a place over at Market Commons, and she was saying, when there was apartments, everything, she said, I wouldn't do that. She said, it's too crowded, parking is not good and stuff. And so she said, I live there. And I said, well, how about if I come over and take you to lunch and look at your house and see what the area looks like? And so from there it started.
Yeah.
And, nothing really. We went to lunch several times before we ever actually went to what I call dinner.
Yeah.
And, we just got along really good and everything, and ended up getting married. And she has been a great wife. Yeah. She has really helped me through some pretty difficult times. Yeah. She's been really good.
Good.
Really
How many
supportive.
years y'all been married now?
Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble. 4.
4, that's great, buddy.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's good. Wow, so many things I can say. You know, Delan, we talked about Lynn's faith. Talk about your faith, how important it is to you.
It is really important. I think the thing is that we, like I told you before, when Lynn first got sick, you always think you can fix stuff. Mm-hmm. But really, it's all in God's hands, and you need to learn that early on. And I don't know, I'll be honest, I tell people as I got older, I progressed through my faith and learned that, you can't fix everything. Mm-hmm. But if you have enough faith and you believe in God and you trust in the Lord, He can fix it. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to turn it over, and that's hard for a lot of people, though, to let loose and turn things over. Mm-hmm. In their personal lives, but especially in their spiritual lives, to let, I used to kid people all the time. I'd say, okay, God, I got this problem and I need you to help me with it, but if you can, here's the answer I want.
I think we a lot do that.
So it's not always you pray for what's best. Sometimes you kind of give a tendency to pray, well, this is really what I want you to do, but that's not the way it works.
Yeah. Delan, even to have a starting point with Him, to give your heart to Him, it's all faith anyway, right?
That's right.
It's all faith.
It's all faith.
And Delan, you're going through a tough season right now. You've been battling cancer, haven't you, buddy?
Yeah, I have, but it's been good. I feel good. I'm doing well. I got multiple myeloma and no cancer ever in my family. How I got it?
Yeah.
I mean, the doctors and everything, but I kind of got a rare form, and they can't cure it. And we haven't got it in remission, but we have it under control. Mm-hmm. And so, like I say, I've been up to Duke several times for extended stays and everything, and but I'm doing well with it. And once again, you talk about your faith and everything. Having it now, I always remember what Lynn said. It just rings so true to me all the time now. God's got a purpose.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't question why I got it. Mm-hmm. I just know that He has given, that I have it for a reason. And it may be to share with other people. When you go to the cancer center, there are so many people, and you look and you think how you say, shoot. But there's so many people, Autry, so worse off. And I tell you, when you go up to Duke, I remember going to Duke, and I was there for about a month. But if you go over to that children's wing, man, now that will break your heart, and you just think, I'm not bad. I'm good, because I'm in my 60s and have lived a good life. And if whatever God decides to call me home, He does. But those kids, boy, it'll just touch your heart.
Yeah.
And
Delan, you shared a story with me, and I'm going to brag on you in a minute, but everybody knows just how much you love life. You've always lived life. You love people. And you tell me, like, somebody came to you and says, why would God allow someone as good as you to go through it? And tell what answer you gave to that, that why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, why not me? And the story I think I like best about that is Lynn. I remember somebody one time mentioned that and said, you know, she was just a good person and she brought so much to society. I mean, why, Lynn, when you think about people who don't care about other people and they don't love the Lord and they're just really mean people, I mean, why didn't something bad happen to them? And like say, me and Lynn was talking one time, and it's like Lynn would say, I don't need another day. They do.
Man, that's strong.
Yeah.
That's real faith.
Yeah, that's real faith right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You know, Delan, and I know we're jumping around a little bit, but, you know, once you left the insurance business and retired, you know, I remember asking you, I'm like, well, what are you going to do with all your time? But tell us about what you've done in your retirement years.
Oh, yeah, I can stay pretty busy. Fortunately, I mean, because I really do enjoy it, I'm on several boards. I'm on the board of trustee at Coastal.
Was the chairman?
Yep, I was. I'm the past chairman, as a matter of fact. And I am I'm the chairman of the hospital foundation, and I'm on the hospital board at Conway Medical Center. And I'm currently chairman of the HTC, Autry Telephone Co-op board. And I really enjoy them all. Once again, you're around people and they're good people on the board and just enjoy it. And you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like I was telling the guys here before we got started that back in the day, you know, Autry Telephone, that's all they did was telephones. Mm-hmm. And I know people here won't remember it, but the first telephone we had in our house was a party line. It was me and two other neighbors.
Wow, did not
You'd pick it up, the neighbors might be on it, so you'd have to hang it up till they got off of it. You know, wait until you get a dial tone. You could actually hear them talking. So it was called party lines.
Yeah.
And then you got your own line, and now nobody puts a telephone in a house.
But that speaks to how far our county's come, right?
Yeah, oh,
I mean, wow.
The county has really evolved.
Well, Delan, you've been that many boards, you can stay really busy and stuff.
Yep.
Talk about Coastal, too, the success and the growth there, man, and how proud you are of it.
You know, I graduated in 1979, and I'm pretty sure there was about 1,200 total students there. We will probably have 12,000 this year coming up.
And as fine a university as this in the state.
Yes, it is. I mean, Coastal has really, really grown. And if, you know, I tell people sometimes you can almost grow too fast. Mm-hmm. And that's almost it's really been hard to keep up with the growth that we've had. But people love coming, and, you know, we have a beautiful campus. I mean, I tell people all the time, they travel on 501 and 544, and they never see the school because it's sort of sandwiched in between the two. But if you'd ever go on the campus, you would just be shocked at how beautiful that campus is. And when we get students to come in and everything, they really like the campus, because unlike Carolina or College of Charleston or some other ones where it's kind of spread out over the city, it's really a kind of a compact campus. And we just got through building a library that doesn't have a book in it. But we got a Starbucks.
I had thought about it. And it's named after one of your good friends, am I right?
Yeah,
tell me.
Phil Thompson, a real good friend of mine. His Uncle John Thompson left an endowment to the university after his death, and we used it to, John was always liked to read and liked libraries, and he'd given to the Conway Library, as a matter of fact, helped them, big sport. So he was a big factor in us building the new library.
Yeah, you talk about Coastal. I remember we carried our kids there. We carried them there and said, look how beautiful this is. And look at the license plates where people come to school here. You got a great one. Luckily, I had one daughter, thanks to you. Go there. So, but beautiful school. Delan, tell us a little bit of marriage advice.
Marriage advice.
Yeah. What's your 3 C's, right?
Yeah, I do have 3 C's of marriage. Christ, communication, and commitment. I always tell people when they're first getting married, and speaking of good friends, Phil Thompson's daughter Allie, probably one of the biggest honors in my life is she asked me to marry her, and so that was such a good thing. And she wrote everything and I did it, but I asked her, I said, can I add a little something into it? And she said, sure you can. I said, okay. So this was what I added. I said, you know, if you always keep Christ number 1 in your household, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
if you always keep the line of communication open between each other, no matter what. Don't go to bed mad with each other. Don't do that. Communicate, talk it out, figure it out. And the next one is commitment. Be committed to each other. Be committed to each other and to the marriage. If you do those 3 C's, you'll be pretty successful at it.
Yeah, yeah. Delan, you've been so successful in farming, banking, insurance, and on serving other organizations. What's some advice you would give a young person trying to start out life, trying to figure out career?
Yeah.
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah, that's a big question. You got to do something you love. I mean, you got to figure that out. I mean, like I told you earlier, I really like farming because I like being outdoors, and I kind of like seeing the fruit of my labors. The reason I really like the bank and insurance business is what we talked about earlier. I like people. I like being around people, and I like helping people. And you can do both in those lines. So figure out something that you like. And then, if I don't care what it is you do, Autry, if you work hard, have integrity, and be honest, you'll be successful.
Anywhere you go.
Yeah. And I tell a story about, and this is really true with people's underwriters. I tell the people to work there, I love having you here, and I want you to work here. And you can come to work one day and go home and say, I hate my job. And you can actually go to work a week and go home every day and say, I hate my job. But if it goes past a week, you need to come talk to me because you need another job.
That's good advice.
You can't go to work every day and hate your job. Yeah. You just can't.
You're not going to be productive.
You're not going to be productive, and the only thing you're going to do is cause people around you not to be productive. So, I just think that is another thing that you have to remember. And the only other advice I would give someone is if you get an opportunity in a job and you get to move up and you get to move into a management position, just surround yourself with good people. Good people, and treat them with respect. You do that, you'll be successful if you're in a management position. Yeah. But I think that's the key to it. Yeah.
Good. Well, as we wrap up, so everybody knows you're athletic, tennis,
Yep.
played golf, and ride bikes.
And bikes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed riding the bikes. Autry used to ride with us. We used to have a group that would get together at Trinity, and people we'd get together at 5 o'clock in the morning. They'd be anywhere from 8 to 12 of us, and we would ride 25 miles in the morning out in the country, and I just loved it. And after my cancer, it kind of set me back a little bit, but I came back and was able to ride some. But then after my last go-round up at Duke, it just really kind of zapped me a little bit. So I could still ride, but I tell people I wasn't as fast or couldn't go as far. And my buddy Kevin Sansbury, who I still ride with today, one day we were riding, and he just had to keep waiting on me, and he said, you're going to have to get an e-bike. And boy, my pride was just, I ain't getting no e-bike.
Yeah.
And so he asked me, when we rode a couple more times, he asked me, he said, do you still play from the blue tees at the dunes? And I said, well, no, are you crazy? I play from the green tees. I'm a senior. Yeah. He says, another reason you need to get an e-bike. And I said, okay, give me one more good reason. He said, well, if you don't, I'm going to just start leaving you. So I got me an e-bike.
Yeah. And we rode, and a lot of times people ask me how Delan's doing, and we'd ride bikes that morning, and I said, yeah, he's got cancer, he's taking treatments. I said, he wore me out this morning and left me. I said, he's still in pretty good shape, Yeah.
And the doctors tell me actually that because of that, my baseline's a little bit higher, that I've actually probably done well because of that.
Yeah.
And I still keep trying to ride now. Like I say, ain't as fast or as far, but I still keep going.
Life's tough, but it's still good, ain't it?
Life is still good. Life is good. God is good.
Amen. Buddy, thank you for the time today.
I appreciate it.
And I want to tell you, I love you, and I still appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Same here, Autry. Love you too, brother.
All right, buddy. All right. Folks, interesting conversation, lots of good advice. America is a great place. Go make the most of your opportunity. Join us next time.
But you know what? The joy seeing, we have 7 veterans that work in the cafe now, and almost all of them have come through our program. So when you're over there saying hi to these folks, like, these folks were in a really bad situation just 6 months to a year ago. But the stories that get told over there and the veterans that come in, just enjoying breakfast and bringing memorabilia. If anybody wants to bring their stuff up there, bring it. The walls are covered. It's all organized.
It's a museum, and
We are trying to get it actually certified as a museum over there. But it's incredible. There's stuff. We got World Trade Center stuff. We got sand and stone from Japan. Just wild stuff. We got a rocket launcher hanging up on the wall. Like, guy came in about a month ago and sat at the bar and he's like, "You got a rocket launcher?" I was like, "No, I don't." He's like, "I do. I'll get you one."
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
"Sure you will." And the next day he shows up, there's a rocket launcher sitting on the bar. I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
they're awesome."
So tell our listeners where it's located, and can the public come eat with
Yeah,
you?
so it's 3544 Northgate Drive in the Northgate Shopping Center, right after you get off right there at that Market Common exit. Monday through Saturday, 8 to 2. Anybody's welcome. We want everybody to come show up and see the place. It's amazing. The food's incredible. Phil's back there cooking it up, Navy chef, and he is excellent back there. But just the other folks, man, like they didn't have a job before, and now the cafe's sitting there, and these folks have a home, they have a house. And you see the smile. They start telling jokes again. They got the military jokes going on. Just
tell me about when Luke came in the picture. Because you did share that you were struggling. To have a child. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We did. I had got. I would say it was the first year. Once we got a building and was able to start the services of Coastline Women's Center, the very first year that within the year that we had opened the door, I would say we had just gotten a little stable. I'd gotten some help in there. I was doing all of the services myself, and then we were able to get someone to come in and help me. And during that year, the Lord had been speaking to me, once you've done the will of the Father, then you will receive the blessing. It was in the book of Hebrews. And I was hoping that was a child, but I didn't know for sure, because all the moms, we had been counseling and ministering to moms even before we had a building, and so moms were starting to have babies and come back to me and put them in my arms, and I had got to a point where I just totally trusted the Lord. I knew He was able to give me a child if He wanted to, and that I wanted that gift to come from Him alone. And until then, these little babies, right, felt like my spiritual babies in a sense. But that year, the Lord kept speaking that scripture, and I found out that we had to move. We were in the process of moving to a new place to live. We had to go through a lot of changes, obviously, to adjust to being ministry leaders, and our incomes changed and all those things. And we found out that first year that the ministry was stable, that we were pregnant. And I say that to say that I believe that the Lord absolutely gave us Luke as a reward for our obedience to come and serve Him and to save His image bearers.
So what was that day like? I mean, that you remember that, like when y'all knew the news and just...
Yeah, nobody believed me. I told them all I was pregnant, and nobody believed me. And nobody believed me.
So I was still working as a nurse at the urgent care, and I was on break at lunch. I'll never forget it. I was driving along in the car getting ready to go somewhere and pick up food, and she called me and said, "Guess what?" And she just blurted it out, and I was just like, what? It's like out of the blue, and my eyes filled with tears, and I'm like, man, this is really happening at our age. So I'm like, okay, God, I'm good, because I was like 40 something at that point. So starting to feel a little like Abraham.
You were older
got a
than
ways
40
to
there,
go.
Carter.
Well,
I was 40.
I'm not trying to give you my age away. So, but anyway, we were. So it was a blessing. What a blessing it was, and also a new chapter of our life getting ready to start, and we just were praising God for that.
It was a miracle.
Because it was 10 years in the making. So,
So you're here, have a military background, have a father who served, who suffered from some of the effects of war. So that's what propelled you into wanting to serve veterans, correct?
That is absolutely
Right, yeah. So tell me about the first time early on you taking a veteran out. Tell me about that experience and the reward that you got from that.
So 99% of the veterans that come out, that I take out, it could be 2 or 4, however many, they start off perfect strangers.
Okay.
Pretty much kind of like arm crossed, one of them is waiting for the other one to break the ice to get the conversation going. But what happens is throughout time on the water, which again, salt water is extremely therapeutic. Being on the water is therapeutic. But throughout the course of the day fishing, they open up, they communicate, they share stories. They share stories. And then they start to And as a charter captain, I'm just sitting back, just in awe, listening to the various stories. But my reward is when I come back to the dock, we tie off. They're exchanging phone numbers, email addresses, dinner plans. These are 4 guys that did not know each other, and now they're 4 BFFs.
Wow.
It's we foster camaraderie.
Yeah, that's great.
And we build bonds.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, after I did the first one, I said, oh yeah, we're good.
But the best thing that happened to me, I met my wife Penny upstairs in the pavilion, and people that came to the pavilion when there wasn't upstairs, when there was live bands, music playing, rooms so full of people, and my wife and I met up there. I've insisted for years that she asked me to dance, but you won't be surprised, she denies it.
Yeah, she's got a different version.
Great version.
Yeah. So you got a commission for the Air Force?
Yes, I did.
So tell us what was your first station?
Got a regular commission as a second lieutenant. I had put in my dream sheet that I would like to be stationed any place on the East Coast. I gave them a real chance. My first assignment was Victorville, California.
The West Coast.
Just about 40 miles from San Bernardino. And we had a 66 Mustang. We loaded up, and of course, neither one of us had hardly been out of North and South Carolina. We took off cross country to Victorville and stayed there until February of '69. In '68, I called my career advisor and asked if I was going to have to go to Vietnam. And he said, we have so many officers in your pay grade and your years of service. Right now, I would say you probably won't ever have to go. 2 weeks exactly, I got orders to go to Saigon.
There's a little bit of a pattern here. They give you opposite of what they.
So, as I told you before, now my next assignment is further away from Myrtle Beach than Victorville was.
Wow.
But so January I went to Saigon, stayed until next year. I missed TET by 1 year. TET was '68. I got there in Saigon in '69.
You can make the biggest difference, and if you are a person that really and truly is invested in what happens around you, there is no place every single day that matters as much as what we do, going to people at the worst moment, helping them there, answering that call for service, and then being out there proactively. You never know the things that don't happen because we were there. So I still say that it's one of the greatest jobs out there if you really want to give the most back to your community.
That's great. Thank you for sharing it. So as we finishing up, we got about a minute. I'm gonna brag on you again. And had a chance to serve on council for a short time, and I've said this behind your back from the dais, and I'll say here today, I've always been impressed with you, but I'll never forget one day I was sitting in traffic, coming down Main Street in Conway, and you didn't know anybody was watching you, and you were on the phone walking down the sidewalk, and you were talking, and you saw a piece of trash. You turned around, you went back and picked it up. It's the little things in life that matter sometimes, and that just showed me that day what I already knew, that you love Conway and you want to give the best to your community. And I just want to say thank you for your service, buddy.
Thank you.
Today, if you find yourself in a good spot or a bad spot, we've shared our faith today. The Lord's always available to us, and count our blessings. We're pretty blessed in America. No matter how tough or situation we're in or country or whatever, and there's some tough things, but God's good to us, and we need to count our blessings. Join us next time.
Just like it was yesterday, I was praying for a miracle. Scared to have a little hope, and now looking back today, seeing all the things you've done, I can't even add it up. 1, 2, 3, up to I'd run out of numbers before I could thank you for everything. God, I'm still counting my blessings, all that you've done in my life. The more that I look in the details, the more of your goodness I find. Father, on this side of heaven, I know that I'll run out of time, but I will keep counting my blessings, knowing I can't count that high. And I know that the seasons never last forever. So God, I will remember all the reasons my heart is to be grateful. All the times you've been faithful to me. God, I'm still counting my blessings, all that you've done in my life. The more that I look in the details, the more of your goodness I find. Father, on this side of heaven, I know that I'll run out of time, but I will keep counting my blessings, knowing I can't count that high. Oh, your goodness, your goodness. 1, 2, 3, up to infinity. I'm run out of numbers before I could thank you for everything. God, I'm still counting my blessings, all that you've done in my life. The more that I look in the details, the more of your goodness I find. Father, on this side of